Right. So the project is called Satellite Oracle, and it's a step in a long-term project and mission to bring awareness of environment to the artificial intelligence. So bridging the gap between all these wonderful new techniques and actually what is happening outdoors, what is happening around us. I believe that environmental intelligence is a key part of general intelligence. You cannot have general intelligence without some sort of awareness of what the environment is and what is our context in basically in space and time. And so but for this specific project, the more specific problem statement is or formulation is there are a variety of environmental restoration projects. You probably have heard about planting trees and regenerative agriculture. There's many projects like that that have very good intent, but their impact is incredibly difficult to actually measure. There's very few monitoring and verification tools out there. And so this proposal aims to solve this, to build a system that would provide a very low cost and reliable source of standardized environmental data for monitoring, verification, and eventually transparency and accountability of environmental projects. And the way that we are going to achieve this is to build a system that would access various sources of environmental data and then assimilate them and augment them and present them through API, through an Oracle, in a regularized, standardized format that would be multimodal and multi-scale and will give you all the data necessary to monitor and verify your specific project. So the project was born out of a lot of experience and very immediate necessity by a team of very experienced people who spent decades running environmental restoration projects around the world in Africa, South America, and in all of these remote places. So just an illustration of that. And the project already has a quite significant AI assets, such as, for instance, this is some illustration of 10x single image super resolution for a imaging satellite that is called Sentinel-2, which is currently the most powerful and reliable Earth observation satellite. So just to illustrate this model is able to increase the resolution of images from this satellite from 10 meter per pixel to 1 meter per pixel. So every 1 pixel of the original imaging data, it converts to 100 pixels of imaging data. So just imagine 1 pixel becomes 100 pixels of information. So this is pretty much like from very similar to what you would see in some sci-fi movies. And then the second model that we have is cloud removal. So you take a satellite image that with areas covered by clouds, and you are able to remove these clouds and compensate for all kinds of atmospheric effects to a very significant extent. So if you collate all of these data sources, you end up with this very beautiful diagram or data type, which we called ecomandala, which is a spatial temporal data format that basically combines imaging data with spectral data, with climate data. And then this can be also, our plan is to release it, to mint it as a NFT that would be kind of a fingerprint, environmental fingerprint for any location on Earth on a multi-scale grid. And if you have an environmental project, you could essentially generate this NFT, which will hold all the data and all the proofs that you need to demonstrate and verify the environmental impact of your project.
Sorry, Joseph, your time is up. So if you can.
So that's finished. So this is just some applications. There are a lot of them, from reforestation, regenerative agriculture, and all the way to assessment of environmental damage in conflict zones. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joseph. Sounds very impressive. Do we have questions for Joseph?
Yes. Yusuf, very interested in this. Hi, it's a great presentation. I've worked with the geological, you're welcome. I've worked with the Geological Survey of Canada and the European Environmental Agency on different interactives for my own projects and for their projects and other friends that I know. This would be wonderful, beyond wonderful. So in terms of the source material, are those based on commercial satellite documents or data?
Yeah, so actually our main source of data is European Space Agency Sentinel-2 system, just because it's the best spectrally calibrated source right now. It's even better calibrated than Landsat, which is the NASA kind of alternative. So the problem with the Sentinel-2 data is that it's too coarse for a lot of applications. So if you have some reforestation and you have 10 by 10 meter pixels, you just don't see really if the trees are there or they're not there. So the big advance, we take this data, which is actually, it's not even commercial, it's almost free. It's absolutely incredible that this data of this quality is provided for free. And we enhance it and make it applicable to a lot of these applications. So, the methodology is applied to other sources of satellite imagery, but most of the sources are very expensive, so they're not really usable for this type of application. So we decided to focus on something that is very low cost.
And that also would support the longevity of access to the data as well.
Absolutely. One of the amazing things about Sentinel-2 is this 5-year archive, that it's regular, that you can have time series and you can actually study how a particular piece of land evolves over time, and it's regular. It's every 5 days. The amount of data that they collect for 5 years, every 5 days, they image every single point on Earth, which is really unique, and I believe it's underutilized, because for a lot of projects the pixels are just too large, and so we are trying to solve this problem so we can actually finally use this incredible asset.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Kenneth. We are out of time for Joseph. Please share your.
Sorry, everyone.
Yeah.
No, please share your proposal. Please share any materials. I think this is quite fascinating.
Thank you so much.